And I just wanted to do something good, something big, something good, something aesthetic. It just came up after being, to be honest, after being frustrated in doing a lot of work and very passionate work in a big company. I was frustrated in this big corporation because I did a lot. I implemented big systems. It's a completely different life now, of course, and it's, to be honest, it's just a roller coaster which seems with no ending. What I have is a very strong vision, and this vision is fulfilled with a lot of emotions, and up to now it's my main motivation.
What's the best lesson that the life gave to you?
When I found out that I can trust myself.
Hi, Eva. Thank you so much for coming to the Life of Founder. How's it going?
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really honored. Yeah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. And spending some time today with me talking about yourself.
Yeah.
We don't talk today about your startup, but we talk about who is behind. So
Okay.
you. As we start, would you like to give an introduction to yourself? Pitch who you are, where you come from, and how it all started?
Okay. Yeah, my name is Eva. I'm from Austria. I founded Freudenreich in 2019. After a long experience in different companies and topics. I have a son who is 17 years old playing ice hockey. And well, yeah, that's the main figures, I think, are the main facts about me. Yeah.
Let's take the entrepreneurial side.
Okay.
What is the motivation? Why did you decide to take this very challenging adventure? I mean, being an entrepreneur is beautiful, and having this kind of mindset thing where you really challenge yourself every day, but it's very challenging. It's very, very tough. One day is good, the day after is bad. One day you feel God, the day after you feel, okay, I'm going to give up. So this that's an absolutely very not stable at all environment. So why I decided to take this road into your life?
Yeah, that's a good question. It just came up after being, to be honest, after being frustrated in doing a lot of work and very passionate work in a big company and corporate system. And well, Freudenreich. So this my company. The name is registered since 2010 already, and I just wanted to do something good. Something big, something good, something aesthetic. What was very important for me, and something which a lot of people have an advantage from. Not only for me, but for I'm kind of a David against Goliath type sometimes. And I think that a lot of people in smaller ones, or in this case, smaller retailers, can reach a lot if they put their egos aside and do something together. It's this was the core concept from the very beginning. That it turned out to be Freudenreich and the world of interior, and it comes to interior retailers, was actually because of my work as a personal and organizational developer in this big corporation. Because I learned about multi-channel retailing, I saw big trading companies falling down, and just say leaving the market because they couldn't find a way to digitalize themselves, And this brought me actually to the concept: why don't we do it for small retailers? For first of all, I think it makes sense, to empower the people here. I think it makes sense to give smallers a chance, because I think that it just changed a little bit, that big ones with big marketing departments behind have a chance and the others don't. So this was actually my main target. How can we do that? How must the system be established so that a lot of small ones can be successful together? which is actually nothing new, but if you see Amazon, for example, I think it's just a lot of people, a lot of retailers worldwide using a system. So it's actually nothing new. But what's new about it is that it's not it's people you can touch, and you go to and just locals, integrating in this system and combining it a little bit more. Actually, we try to, of course, do a lot of what they do, but also find the problems, and how can we solve it? So how can we combine it to do a next step in this market, in this niche? Of course, it's still a niche what we are dealing with. Yeah. Mhm.
You work for previous companies, so you've been employed, you've been an employee, and after you move to be an employer, to be an entrepreneur, that's a totally shift. That's moving to a totally different way. Do not have any more the certainty or getting the wage because you're not paid anymore. You actually need to earn, you need to do your job to make your money. So uncertainty is there. So what's the feeling when you decide, okay, I'm going there? You feel I don't know, sad, sad for sure not, but misplaced. Do you feel a bit scared?
Of course, scared. I mean, working with other people's money is much easier than with working with your own, or even going to a bank and lend some money. It's a completely different life now, of course. And it's, to be honest, it's just a roller coaster which seems with no ending. It wasn't that I said, okay, now I'm going to be self-employed. It was just, I don't know, life happened like this, and then I said, okay, what I knew is I was frustrated in this big corporation because I did a lot. I implemented big systems, but to be honest, in those big corporations, it's not everybody likes this, if you have success and if it's not their own success. And sometimes, we have this male and female thing. And if you have a boss who should have done your project actually, but you did it, don't get always, it was difficult. So I said, I know that I can give a lot. I know that I'm smart. And if things I don't know, I'm willing to learn. And I'm definitely willing to go the extra mile. So why don't do it for myself? And I was a bit tired of this kind of, let's say, culture in this big corporation sometimes. So I thought, why don't build a culture myself? If I'm always not satisfied with this culture, so why not building my own? And this was actually the start then to this own Freudenreich. But to be honest, when I quitted my job, first I started with some projects of consultancy because this was where I came from. And I got some jobs and I did well, but it didn't fulfill me at all, because I said, now I don't want to advise or to tell other people how they could do better. I want to do my own, and I want to go out and put myself in the ring and just create something new. And it's up to now, it's my main motivation. I'm not a really strategic type. I have, of course, you have a strategy, but what I have is a very strong vision. And this vision is fulfilled with a lot of emotions and pictures. And this vision guides me since years with all ups and downs. And yeah. Mhm.
Founders, entrepreneurs are driven by vision. And I, I believe if you don't feel good in what you're doing, you must change. And if you don't feel good to be employed, you must employ. So it's a huge challenge, of course it is, but it must be taken if you really feel it. So it's you're done absolutely the right way, and this is pretty much common with many entrepreneurs at the very beginning. What were the initial struggles when you started?
Well, the struggles, and it's accompanies me up to now, is to find the right people to work with. Because when I started with my sister, and which turned out to be not the perfect partner, because we are good sisters, but we are not very good business partners, I guess, together. So we decided to keep on, our sisterhood. Yeah, but everyone in a different job. And to be honest, Freudenreich was always my my project. It was always more mine than hers. At the same time, my one of my colleagues and former colleagues and friends, Stephanie, she was very passionate about it. She always wanted to be with some meetings, and she was always very interested. And we started talking about if she could imagine to work for Freudenreich and to do something together. Well, this was the struggle to find the right people, because I always knew I don't want to do it alone. If you want to create something new and big, I knew that I love big systems. So, and if I love big systems, a lot of people should work together and like to work for this project. So I have to find the right ones. And the next struggle was to convince the retailers, which is so far, it's still sometimes, it's not, I don't have to talk as much as the years before, but still to convince the retailers, because it's new for everybody. It's new to create something together. It's new to be on a platform where my neighbor is on as well, and selling their product. So it's just new, this mindset that together it's easier to reach success than alone, because they, of course, are sometimes very focused on, of course, on their own, and just like this, with their neighbors. And it's a mindset which needs to be formed in a new way, I guess. And that's work, and that's not easy.
At the very beginning, it's not easy. Everyone find different difficulties, different struggles. But what is beautiful is overcoming them and start moving and put all the puzzle together. Startup is really play a puzzle. You need to put one step by the other, all these pieces all together, making sure one day it works. It creates an image that makes sense. How being an entrepreneur had impact your life in a good and a bad way?
The good way is that I'm my life has a meaning. My life is, it's really, it makes so much sense for me. I never doubt what I'm doing, not a single day, not the worst day I'm doubting what I'm doing. I'm totally convinced, which I've never been so long, so for such a long time before. I was always very passionate when I started a job, and I did it 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but then it's okay, something new needs to come. But I'm really very, very passionate about it. I have a complete sense of meaning, what I'm doing. It's because of course, the concept. It's because of the colleagues. It's my co-founder. It's because the people I meet. I'm never frustrated. Is this the right job for me? I know it is. So that's the good thing about it. The bad thing about it is I'm not where I want to be right now. It's still a way, and we still have to find some supportive people and to find the right people. And of course, if we come to work-life balance, I mean, work is my life, now. Of course, it's my son and my dog and my family and my partner. But to be honest, my focus is work. But it's not that bad for me. I don't actually, I should do more sports, yeah. and move more, and I try to find some ways and blah blah. But to be honest, it's just my life now, and I decided for it, so I'm not a victim at all. So it's, although those bad things happen, or those struggles, what I really found out is, of course it would have been better if it's easier, but to be honest, I have a backbone like of steel now, almost, still flexible, but almost of steel. And I'm so much more convinced, of what we are doing and how we do it, because I saw a lot of things coming and going, within the last years, which were completely hyped, got a hype, and now they are gone already. So I have I think the good thing about me is that I'm down on earth. Yeah, we are no one-hit wonder. So I think that's the good and bad thing, and it's just actually one thing. It's just this life at the moment. Yeah.
Taking this road is spending a lot of time working. There is nothing to do. So we have a balance. Balance means you have 24 hours. If you spend 10, 12, 14 working, what is left is what is left. So that, founders, entrepreneurs, this happened to me, you don't feel you're working. You feel you're doing something that for you is a pleasure. So, for example, when I stop because I'm tired, I'm physically and mentally tired. That's why I stop. Not because my 8 hours it's over my day. No, I never finish. When I finish, it's because I'm done. So I'm not productive anymore. I crossed probably 12 hours, and it's time to. But that's it. So it's doing something with pleasure. That's why we spend so much time working because we don't work. But uh, how does it look like your day by day? What do you do in your daily basis when you work?
I start, let's say, between 8:39. That's because I have a son to, and my walk the dog and have some things at home. I mean, checking emails, I start at 6 o'clock. So, but coming to the office is a little bit later. Luckily, my colleague, she's here earlier, so she can take care of the apprentices. And my first thing I do when I come to the office is checking Google Analytics. So this is, all reports, all figures, all what's happening on Meta, what's happening on Google, what's happening with our retail newsletter system. Of course, the sales we got, which I'm checking anyway, always, so this is the beginning, and then we have divided our task very clearly, more or less. My colleague and me, she's the operational part, and she's the one taking care of the apprentices and educating them, and I'm the strategic part, and the, let's say, marketing and sales and projects and just creating the future. That's my part. So that's quite good because it hasn't been like this always. So this is a big milestone for me. When she came in operationally, we found it together, but still I was doing everything on my own. And this actually was a point I was really, this costed me a lot of energy, yeah, to be alone. And that's why I'm really enjoying, working together, knowing there's somebody else, taking care, and I trust her, and this is just perfect, to trust somebody, and that I found somebody who is as passionate as I am, as committed as I am, and this is really, yeah, that's a.
Finding the right fit in terms of co-founder is not easy at all. Many startups fail because co-founder they start fighting and they don't get along, which pretty not at all. But to find the right one, it really helps me. It's a very huge help you get from having someone that really believes and gives the same effort and the same approach that you're giving to your business. But in during your day, what really you like the most? What's the task that you are very pleased?
What I like the most, I still love working in the system. To be honest, very simple things like new products, new shops, establishing new shops, just to, what I really like is to make something beautiful, and as we are doing the shop and the system a lot ourselves, I'm, of course, with our retailers and their pictures and images, and just to find out the right products which can be sold. This is something I really like, and I'm really like to be still involved, although it's more operationally. And the rest is, what I like is, I'm a thinker, and this doesn't stop at 8 o'clock in the evening. So this sometimes begins at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I, and this is, and what I like the most and drives me is keep it, what's the simplest and what's the smartest way in this very complex world, and how can we find an easy way and a smart way, so we make lives easier for the retailers, for the manufacturers, all these, actually it's a triangle, more or less, including us. So in order to serve and to get clients, and to do a good service, and this is what really drives me, because I'm a trial and error type. I can't, and it's always, I think I'm quite brave, sometimes, because I just try, no matter what other people think, because when I have the feeling this could work out, I try. And on the other hand, if I see, okay, doesn't work out, just do different, so and this is something which drives me and gives me a lot of energy, that I have the possibility, I can decide myself, actually, if I try on it, I don't have to ask someone else, what do you think, we just try and we just do. And this is, and I'm a doer, although I think a lot, but actually, it only makes sense, as I always say, it's 10% concept, and I love good concepts. But, a concept is worth nothing if you don't do this 90% extraordinary execution, and that's what I like.
90% belongs to the latter, to the execution. And again, task evolves when the company evolves, right? So you start with doing almost everything, and after you move. When you move to the full management, it's very difficult sometimes to do things that you really like, because maybe it's better than others do for you. And probably they can only be better than you in somehow. We must accept how we are. And doing do things that creates more value for the company as a whole, and not maybe for you as a person. But have you ever thought, I'm the most unqualified founder? I won't get there in a bad day.
Yeah, sometimes I doubt myself. I really, when this pandemic started, and it was very difficult, the whole situation. And I really, in my mind, I left a job which wasn't, now it's several years, but by then it was just 1 year ago. And I really did, okay, was it the right decision? And I always ask myself and say, okay, no, it's the right decision and it's the right thing. I really um, think that we're doing something senseful, But up to now, and actually right now, we struggle with our tax consultant, and this is something where I really think and have to focus even more on the right persons, because the right persons can make you fly, and the wrong ones can just destroy you. And I don't know, I don't make quick decisions. I look and I see and I talk a lot, and I'm just thinking, and then there comes a point when it's just enough, and then to split, and we have to just be very clear, about the future. And this just happens right now, which is of course nothing which was on my wish list, but just has to be done. And but what's interesting is always when I had those really difficult situations and struggles. That's probably why we are still going on, and still just keep on going. Is always when we have those difficult situations, something very good comes in, and happens. And at this stage, when we started struggling with and found out our tax consultant isn't the right person for us, um, we were talking and discussing, and how can we solve that, and blah blah. And then I just had a look to my laptop, and an email came in with the information that we are nominated for the Austrian Retail Innovation Award 2023. So it was just, okay, we don't know how to solve this problem, we just know we have to. Obviously, it's a future for us. And, it's a big honor for us. And the even bigger honor is are the other nominees, because it's like companies like Nespresso, so more people, more budget, bigger than we are. So, well, yeah, but of course, these are moments I really thought about. Okay, why didn't I think about it? Why didn't I see that earlier? Everything around tax, and it wasn't to be honest, it's not my core interest. And I just left this responsibility to him. And now I find out which it starts interesting me, because it has to, and it's important, and I have to learn here. And now this is what you said before. I have to do, and I have to learn more, and I have to find out how things are working for us, in order to, yeah, to grow on a healthy, yeah.
You have to master everything. You can't control everything. You can't do everything. But you must have a very broad picture of your company. And again, going back to the puzzle, but to the reward, I'm very happy you'll be nominated. Sometimes, I mean, we, myself as well, we fight every day. So you need some kind of reward to keep going. If you get no, no, no every day, but this is going to last forever, that's a problem. Maybe you're doing something wrong. One day a reward must arrive. Of course, you need to keep going until that day. But this moves me to the motivation. Founders need to be very resilient and motivated. Otherwise, there's no way to go. So, how do you keep yourself resilient and with a high level of motivation?
I need silence in between. I need, it's so much noise around, private and business life. And if things are going, if things are tough and, this roller coaster is, seems never ending, I have to step back and just be in silent, just in nature, silent, just to be on my own. I just actually I don't do anything. I just do. And with this silence, a new motivation comes in again, and a new faith. And really, this faith. Yeah, that's it. That's it. With the silence, I find something, I find solutions. And sometimes, I have a lot of sleepless nights. And really, I sometimes say, oh my God, what I'm doing here and this. But I found out that those sleepless nights, of course, it's not nice because, you don't look that good the day after. But those sleepless nights often helped me because I found a solution at 4 o'clock in the morning. This is, yeah, this is how I keep my motivation going, of course. And to be honest, it's the discussions and my cooperation with my colleague, with Stephanie, because we are talking, of course, a lot, and we are just, yeah, this helps me. This helps me that I'm not alone. This is also something which motivates me, of course, because I know I don't do it only for myself. We do it together, and the motivation, I want to show my son, and this is my main, also one of my main targets, that it was right that I quitted my job. But you can imagine I had a very good job. I earned, everything was fine. We flew on holidays, everything perfect. Everyone around said, well, what the hell is she doing? We would love to work for this big corporation. Is she crazy? She's never satisfied. It's always the same with her. My son, obviously of his father, he said, are you sure what you're doing? He was scared at the moment, of course. Do we have enough money? And I have to, I really, really want to show him that it's worth fighting for. I wish an easier life for him, to be honest. I don't want, and it's good that you don't know what life brings, business life brings when you start. It's really good to know because you couldn't handle this in total, at the beginning. But this also drives me and motivates me that I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger saying once, I hate plan B, you know? And actually that's what drives us. We don't have a plan B. We just don't have a plan B. It's this way, and we keep on going and we find a solution.
Plan B. I'm the biggest fan of Arnold. I lost 1 year of my school because at the age of 15, I discovered bodybuilding because my friend brought me to the gym. Max, come with me. All right, let's go. I fall in love with bodybuilding, and I started watching all Schwarzenegger workout, reading about him night and day. I lost 1 year in school because oh yeah, absolutely. I was bringing the book of Schwarzenegger school and reading. Straight to the gym in the afternoon. We have a physical education, and the teacher told me, "Why don't do physical education?" I said, "Because I don't need to. I don't want to lose weight. I'm building my own body." Absolutely, she kicked me out. So, and I didn't care. But he's right. First of all, is something unbelievable. I've been watching all his life, and it's unbelievable what Martin did. He's not the president of the United States of America only because he was born in Austria. But Plan B is something completed, is overused. I'm very happy nobody, we talk about Plan B. as late as we can. In venture capital, plan B to me is the worst thing you can do in life. If you start a startup, you already have your plan B. You must be crazy to even to start. You must be. Plan B is I'm going to think about after failing, but let me fail before, and after I'm going to do something different, which is not Plan B. People, I mean, it's different. Plan B, a contingency plan. Of course, you must have something there in case you have some problems during your role, right, to succeed. And that's contingency plan, right? Having some cash, for example, extra cash in your balance sheet is always good because it allows you to pivot. Pivoting a contingency is nothing to do with plan B. Plan B, I detest plan B. When people talk about me, plan B, I get seriously nervous. Although I'm never nervous, say, what are you doing? Plan B? They're telling me I'm failed already. I'm going up to the end. When I fail, that's fine. Let's move to another thing, which is not plan B. What about failure? Are you scared to fail?
No, actually not. I'm really not, because my, and this, no, I'm not scared, because I think, of course, this vision is so strong, and this is so, I don't have another picture, then I only have this picture. I don't have a second one. So of course I'm sometimes scared because I don't know how to overcome the next, struggle. And I mean, what scares me, if this would have a negative impact on my private life, which means my existence. This is of course something, but it's we don't took so much risk. It's financially wise, so it's very low level. We don't don't have a very luxurious life at the moment, so we just try to keep the cost as reduced as possible. So this could be something which scares me. It's my existence, which is my home, my son, everybody around. So, but otherwise, no, I'm not scared. And this is also something, and it doesn't make me better. I have to. We find a solution. It's good. We are very willing to go the extra mile. We are willing. We are not ego driven at all, to be honest. So we are really trying to serve the retailers, the clients. So we give our best every day, and I think, and this is which probably let me overcome when I'm scared, because we are doing something good, and I have a strong belief that this will come back somehow. Yeah.
Failure must never stop nobody. They just go, is there, learn from failure. The problem is don't fail too big because it's very complicated to go back when you fail too big, which means fail. When you fail with, for example, so much debt and so on, it's pretty painful. But startups normally, the first 2 3 years time, they don't have that. And even though if you have some, well, it should never stop you. But failure in somehow is, I know it's a cliche, say we learn from failure, but it does. We learn from failure. There's nothing to do. How do you spend your spare time? Sometimes you're free. What do you like to do?
With spare time, first of all, no. What I'm doing, of course it's my family, it's my son, my dog, my partner. He's living not in Salzburg, but now we're away from here, so in nature. I love it. This is what I seek is in my spare time is grounding, to earth. I'm very, it's everything online, and then it makes me nervous. That's why that's something I'd like to reduce, to be honest, and I'd like to change is all this always watching, the always checking the mobile phone if if a sales came in or a like on our social media channels. This drives me crazy, to be honest. And sometimes, so I seek in my spare time, I seek just, I don't know, nature, family, and things which are down to earth, of course, gym, and all those things, but relax, a good book, time with people who are important for me. This is my spare time. Yeah.
Do you take a part in any tech community? Do you go to the tech summit? And what's your take on tech? You're not a tech company, but in somehow you are. You're digital. You use technology. What's your take on the startup community? They say that and founders must make this world a better place to be, must do a lot to help improve. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think not only startup founders should improve the world. So I think it's up to everybody. Well, I don't know. I have a bit of, I don't know how to deal with tech because everything's called tech now, in my opinion. Probably I'm not very much into it, or I don't know enough. But I think, and I hope I don't irritate you, but I think it's overrated, all these tech things, because I think I found out there's a problem, and the main core, the core, let's say the core to do's of a company is having a product which is so interesting and so good and so valuable that someone pays for it. If I do this in person, analog or digital, the core is the same. And I see a lot of, on LinkedIn and everywhere, and it's always women in tech, and they're in tech. Actually, they're doing things which have been done before, but on a more digitalized basis, with AI, with whatever. I think it's good that, but what I like about this movement, that it has, which probably in the United States longer history than here in Europe. That people are motivated to, or empowered to do their own thing, think bigger. Think over the border. Which tech companies make possible. You need this. To create bigger systems, of course. But well, I don't know if we are. I think we are kind of tech. I don't know, but not really. I don't know. I think for if you ask investors, we are probably not tech enough. Although we use KI every day, for our product text, we are online. But I think it's not. I don't know. I think we are a combination. Yeah, it's a combination between personal service and someone to reach on the phone, which our customers love. They really love it. That there's a person on the other side of the line, yeah, and not a machine. And still, of course, a lot of things are much smarter done by a machine. Of course, I like this combination. I think so. So I'm not sure if yeah, the tech community is interested in us, or if we are fit to them. I don't know. Yeah.
If I'm sitting you in a round table with world leaders, what would you like to tell them? What you believe must be fixed? A lot. Anyway.
Put your ego aside and do the work which has to be done. Most of the problems are just long existing problems, not solved yet. And I think, and it's in the small world the same as in bigger circumstances. So many things are, or so many problems are, sometimes, yeah, it's just the ego which is keeping those problems going and not possible to solve it. And and it's populism. It's not what I'm always interested is what makes sense, what makes really sense for everybody. And of course, I know I'm from organizational development. I know that's not this one solution and this simple solution. There is no one solution and this one way. It's a lot of interests, a lot of different mindsets, of course, but there is, totally convinced, there is a way to fix it. To find something which is at the end the best solution. For a lot of people. So yeah, ego, I guess I would tell them, is a
Politicians are driven by ego. They do everything based on ego. For them, it's very complicated because the only drive they have is ego. So if you remove ego from them, I have no idea what they must do, what they're going to do. But anyway, they're doing everything totally wrong. That's for sure. There's no one thing I can see every day. Are you concerned about climate change?
to be honest, not. I'm very happy. I'm not. It's not my core interested. My core interest, to be honest, of course, it's in the press every day. But I think there's so much negative press around. It's not only press; it's of course people who are working on that since years. And but I think all those negative information we see and hear and read every day. I'm completely convinced that there are a lot of people working on it. It's probably not me as a person, but I'm convinced that a lot of people which are not on TV today work on it since years without any, they're just doing, they just do, and they find a way, and they try to figure it out. But that's not worth a press release, or not yet, so I really hope that life is not that bad as it seems on TV. And if I see my personal life, I'm right. It's not that bad when it's on TV. Of course, I'm lucky that I'm living on a good part of the world, but I'm convinced that there's a future, and I'm convinced that the good ones are more than the bad ones. But the bad ones are the ones who are, just get the interview or whatever, the better press people.
They're the one sport, and but this is how it is, right? So we have hope. We are there. The problem is there for sure. We need to fix it.
Yeah, of course.
We need to talk much less and do it much more. But yeah, but we need to be always very, very, very positive. Which are the things in life they really touch you and you're willing to fight for?
For children, I think that this is something which I earn so much money that we don't know where to spend it anymore. Then I would like to do a project for children. I think they have the right to have a good life wherever they live. If it's here in Austria or somewhere else, I think they have the right to have a good life, and not to solve problems they haven't caused, And this is something, I think this is fighting for. I mean, in my personal life, I try to give my son, of course, a good life, and to support him, and to show him that everyone can make an impact. Yeah, that's what I meant before with the ego. I think this doing good things, doing a good job. For example, I've asked an investor, and he said to me, you have to decide what you want. Do you want to build something which is, you get an investor, he needs his money back after 5-7 years, you can't pay him, so you have to sell it, and scale up and whatever, Do you want this version? Or do you want to establish something which also your son could keep on working for, And I know this is not interesting for investors, but to be honest, I want to establish something which lives longer than I do. And it's probably something big, but I think this is, and at least, of course, I know we need money on board and we need people, but still, at least a share of it should be in my or in the hand of my son.
There is not a trade-off here. I mean, actually, there is a trade-off here. You can get on board investors and still having your share and give your share to your son one day. Even bring your son to work with you. He's capable of. The best book and author.
Oh my God, I read so many books, and I can't tell you this one. I don't have this one book. But what I really love to read is spiritual books, everything around mindset. And these are the books which really interest me. And I can read all of them. In former times, I was a very great fan of Paulo Coelho, and I met him once, but also others. And it's everything about mindset, spirituality, everything, the secret, the power, the whatever, everything which gives me a higher energy level, can also be a biography of somebody who is very inspirational. I can't say it's not this one book. It's just the books who have a very positive mindset or ideas, or that's it.
You watch movie?
I do, but also there, I don't have this one movie. There are so many movies I like. Pardon?
You don't have your favorite one, but I'm sure you have your favorite actor. You must have.
A favorite actor? Oh, I love all of them. And, in the Ocean 11, 12, 13, those guys are all great, like Matt Damon, George Clooney, and all of them. Yeah, I like them. I also like, what's his name? He's so cool. Cyril Murphy, isn't it? Is he from Ireland? He played um, the last movie, the from this atom bomb. What was it? The name? He's great also. Do you remember? No,
No.
Cyril Murphy. I think he's Irish. He's Irish.
Can be back to
Yeah.
here.
No, he's good. Yeah.
What's the best lesson that life gave to you?
When I found out that I can trust myself, it wasn't a very nice situation, to be honest. It was a private situation and it wasn't very nice. But this changed a lot.
Do you trust yourself now?
Yeah, every day more. Yeah, no, I trust myself more. This changed a lot because I grew up with, doubts. And are you sure that you feel it? Are you sure that how you see it? Are you sure? And this kept on going. And then there was a situation in my life where I said, okay, it was either I bring myself to the hospital and I trust myself and I trust my gut feeling. And this changed a lot. And this also helps me business life, private life, that I'm still, and I think this is something which should be just focused on more, is taking your own responsibility and just build your own gut feeling, which is of course because of a lot of experiences you make, in life. But I think this changed a lot.
Self confidence is extremely important. We must teach the kids at the very beginning when they start school. You need to build your self confidence. It's mandatory for everyone if you want to have a decent life, regardless what you're going to do. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you're not confident who you are, it's nightmare. You are going to move from one side to another. You will depend so much from the people telling you who you are. Who can tell who you are? You are who you are, and how people can know who you are. They can only talk. That's a sport of everyone tell you what you must do, who you are, what is better for you, even invest in themselves. They come and tell you what you can afford to do. You're the only one who knows your limit. Investors have no idea. They can only read some numbers and make you some misunderstanding, but what is behind? It's a different story. Uh, what's your greatest wish?
My greatest wish is that Freudenreich is, of course, successful. That have no existential, sorrows anymore. No, be safe. No existential worries, and and that we have a good team and just keep on working. But from on a more safer level than now. Now it's like this a little bit. I would like this, and then keep on going. I know that it's a lot of work to do, and that's why I founded it, because I wanted to have a project which never ends, you know. And this is something which definitely never ends if we keep on going. But I'd like to have a safer environment or a safer ground.
You will get there step by step.
Yeah,
You find the stability you need, and after, when you are stable, you can start building.
yeah,
But if fundamentals are not stable, it's very complicated.
yeah.
If I'm telling you, recommending something to the founders that are watching this podcast, what do you recommend to them based on your experience?
What I recommend, yeah, still, even if you have a very, very, very good idea, an exceptional idea, it's only 10%. So the rest is just keep on doing, don't give up, and doing exceptional and, extraordinary work. And it's just doing, it's not talking, it's doing and learning and putting your ego aside. I think this is very, very, very important to see the client's perspective. We always got money, or when we started getting money for what we do, which was just 39 euros at the beginning. I knew I can't give up at this moment. And I need also the negative feedback from my clients to get better and to get good informations, because often sometimes told me, big managers, yeah, you should do that without, money for 2 years, and then they come. So you have a lot of clients first, and then you start charging them. And I said, no, why would somebody give me an honest feedback if they don't pay me? There's no interest at all. So I think it's worth, even if it's small amount of money, to charge. your clients first, because only a client who pays is a real client, in my opinion. Although they are probably not that satisfied, they are good clients because they bring you further, and you can just ask them what needs to be done better and what they need, and this is something probably which helped us a lot, just asking the client, working together, and improving day by day. Your customers are your best critics anyway. You don't need more.
Eva, thank you so much for coming to Life of Founder. It's been absolutely a pleasure for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Same for me. Thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure talking to you.